Mandalay, Sir Uong Tan, to deliver the opening speech.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, everybody. On behalf of the MSMRT, it is my pleasure and honor to warmly welcome all of you to the webinar on the commemorative of our President, Mr. Khin, 9th MSMRT conference meeting and 10th Asia Continuing Professional Development Online Digital Platform, which was founded in November 2020. And I am so proud of you for our late president, as he is one of the founder of the Asia CPD. Radiographers and radiological technologists throughout the whole world are celebrating the World Radiography Day, with the theme for this year is the role of the radiographer in the pandemic. And I am delighted that our Myanmar medical radiation technologists are participating as one of the family of ISRRT. Regarding to the activities of our Myanmar Society of Medical Radiation Technologists, we were able to submit the membership application to the ISRRT with a sponsorship from the Thai Society of Radiological Technologists and Singapore Society of Radiographers. And the official acceptance was done at the ISRRT Council meeting in Helsinki, Finland in June 2014 as a member of ISRRT. Since then, we have participated in many of the regional and international radiation conference meetings and have a chance to discuss on radiation education and professional practice. By the way, I would like to thank Professor Dr. U Lin Chuncho, the retired professor and head of Radiology Department, Yangon General Hospital, for his encouragement and a helpful hand for us to be able to organize and unite the Myanmar Radiological Technologists as a society. Although the COVID-19 pandemic can stop the face-to-face communication, but the academic exchange between the medical radiation technologists can never be stopped. We can explore and exchange the advance of our field through the webinars. The science and industry is constantly developing at a rapid pace, and we need to keep up with the development. Although our professional is small in social field, it is the task of each and everybody of us to bring out our profession, what we do, and how important we are in the social field. Let us talk about our career pathway and share information and new research and knowledge to those who are working in the field. And I hope that this activity continues and grow in the future. Last but not the least, I believe that societies and associations from different countries and regions have developed excellent friendship through the webinar. And I hope that all of you will find the meeting stimulating and enjoyable. With these words, I want to wish you a fruitful education day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, CI Uong Tan, for your wonderful speech. Time for the photo section. May I kindly request to our members of panelists to open your camera for a group photo. Thank you. May I kindly request to all the panelist members to open the camera for the group photo, please? I think that's all. So someone please grab the group photo. Oh, not yet. Oh, there are still more members to join and open the camera. Okay, more people are coming in. Thank you. Oh, no. Please let us know if we all are here. Shall we please wait a few more minutes?
Okay, I think we are ready. But we need to open the some camera of the Miss Christine, Miss Tan, and Mr. Budu Adi. Can you please share your images on with video? So we will take the pictures of the group photo. Yep. Okay.
Okay, so I think every panelist member have opened the camera now. So shall we count and then Open. Okay. Shall we count 1, 2, 3, and then take the photo?
Yes. So I will take the photo. Now
Please.
3. Okay. Let's start. 3, 2, 1. Say cheese. Okay. And another one, please. So more photo will make us choose, right? So another count. 3, 2, 1. Say cheese. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Sorry. Some panelists cannot open camera. You please please open for them.
Okay. Hello.
Dennis Chong in Singapore cannot open camera.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Dennis. Miss Dennis, sorry. Thank you. And Miss Christine, can you please open? And Mr. Pudu Adi. Hello, Mr. Can you please open the camera for our photo for this event to take the photo? Okay. Okay, so Miss Tender Ao, မတန်တာအောင်လည်းတစ်ချက်လောက်ဖွင့်ပေးလို့ရမလားရှင်ကင်မရာလေး မခရစ်စတင်းနဲ့အမတန်တာအောင်လည်းတစ်ချက်လောက်ဖွင့်ပေးပါနော်ကင်မရာလေးကုန်လို့တော့ group photo လေးရိုက်ချင်လို့ပါခဏလောက်ပါပဲရှင်အမတို့ပြီးရင်ပြန်ပေးလို့ရပါတယ်ရှင်
အမဝင်ထားပေးပြီးတခုမှလေအဲ့တခုကဟာပြီးရင်ခြားထားမဲ့ဟာဆိုချန်ထားတာအခုအမကင်မရာကဟိုဖုန်းနဲ့ဝင်ပေးထားတယ်
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ရှင် hello Miss Sophia hello Miss Sophia can you please open the camera thank you and Miss Ho Tian Tan hello can you please open the camera we want to take the group photo hello Miss Dan thank you and Luke Triton can you please open the camera
sorry, I'm booking or it's my hospital, so I cannot open the camera.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone.
Okay. So now we are ready. So Mr. Lord, now we are ready. Some of the members can open because of their responsibility. So I will. I will take count to take the photo.
Yes.
Yes.
Continue.
Okay. So 3, 2, 1. Say cheese. Okay. I got it. And I will take another one too. Please wait a few minutes. Okay. And then 3, 2, 1. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Say cheese. Okay, thank you. Now I have updated 2 new photos. So thank you all for them taking the photos. Yeah. So Miss A will continue the agenda and process.
Thank you, Dr. Goi. Shall we continue with the program? According to Agenda 3, it's a minute of silence for the president of MSMRT. Mr. Kim has lost the battle with COVID-19 on 23rd August 2021. And we're all in so much grief and pain. So I like to kindly request all of the audience to stay 1 minute of silence for the president of MSMRT, Siai Ukamountain, in order to pay respect and remember him in the prayers. Thank you to everyone for your moment of silence. May his sincere and beautiful soul rest in heavenly peace. Next, it's a special program, and like any other programs that you have commonly seen in a conference, it's safe to say that our MSMRT president, Mr. Khin, is greatly loved not only by his fellow members, but also by the societies of radiological technologists across the world due to his hard work and leadership for MSMRT and his great contribution to our profession. I believe we all feel devastated because of his passing, and we truly and deeply miss him, especially in an event like this. Therefore, presidents and representatives from 9 Asian countries will deliver the memorial speech for him. May I kindly request the General Secretary of MSMRT, Ms. Yin Tan, to invite the presidents for their speech.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to meet you all. Miglaha. First of all, I would like to cordially invite Dr. Nepal Tanapan, Department of Radiologic Technology, faculties of the commemorative speech.
Thank you, Ms. Yin Tan. And on behalf of the board management of the International Society of Radiographers and Radiological
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to meet you. First of all, each of our presidents and Dr.
I'm so sorry, there's maybe a technical problem, sound problem.
It's okay.
Teacher, 六级吧。
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to meet you all. First of all, I would like to cordially invite you, Dr. Nepal Tanapan, Department of Radiologic Technology, faculties of Medical Technology, McGill University, to deliver the commemorative speech of our president.
Thank you, Ms. Yin Tan and Mingalaba, Myanmar friends. On behalf of the board management of the International Society of Radiographers and Radiological Technologists, ISRRT, I would like to congratulate the MSMRT for hosting such magnificent event here to honor a man that we are missed, and we love him so much. He's a pioneer of the technologies in Myanmar. Mr. Khin, I have known him for so long time. I still remember the first time I met him in Chiang Mai when he joined our conference of TSRT. He was very passionate about improving the quality of practice of the technologies in Myanmar and also in the region. Mr. Khin Maung is a good example of a teacher, a good teacher who always take care of his student and also his profession. He will be missed, but I am confident that with his legacy will lead the MSMRT and the member in Myanmar and also technologists and radiographers worldwide to progress our profession. Mr. Khin, you will be missed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nababan, for your commemorative speech. Next time, Mr. Chavit from Santapur, and Director of International Society of Radiographers and Radiological Technologists ISRT for Asia Australia. I would like to respectfully invite you to deliver the speech of commemorations. Please.
Thank you, Inintan. Can you all hear me? Okay, thank you, Myanmar Society of Radiation Technology for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts in memory of Mr. Khin Maung, the president of MSRT. I first got to know Mr. Khin at the 28th Singapore Malaysia Radiographers Conference in Singapore in 2013, where he was an invited guest at our conference. Mr. Khin was elected as the first president of Myanmar Society of Medical Radiation Technologists in 2012, and under his leadership, the society was accepted to join the International Society of Radiographers and Radiological Technologists (ISRT) in 2013. In 2015, Mr. Khin was awarded the honorary membership of the Singapore Society of Radiographers for his contribution to the radiography profession. Over the years, I got to know about the athletic side of Mr. Khin, that he was also an avid badminton player, and many of us here may not know that Mr. Khin was the manager and coach of the Myanmar badminton team and have led the team to compete at the 15th Southeast Asia Games held in Kuala Lumpur in 1989. He was a humble and fatherly figure who is well respected and well liked by his peers and international friends. Since joining the big family of ISRT, Mr. Khin had contributed in various academic activities and actively seeking opportunities and collaborations with other international societies to improve the radiography practice in Myanmar. The one thing that was always on his mind was elevating the radiography profession in Myanmar and providing the opportunities for younger generation to grow and develop in their profession. His dedication to the profession is inspiring, and he was a man with great vision. Over the years, the radiography profession in Myanmar has grown under his leadership and went on to host multiple local and international conferences, such as the very successful 4th Southeast Asia Radiographers Conference in 2017. His vision has helped to create many opportunities for us to share and learn from each other. It is with a heavy heart that I write this commemorative speech, as the thought of not ever seeing his fatherly smile and encouraging words saddened me. It is a great loss to us all. And to quote the Colombian writer Gabriel Garcia Marquez, no matter what happens, one cannot take away the dancers you have already danced. His contribution will always be remembered by all those whom he had touched their hearts. It is a difficult period for everyone, especially for the people in Myanmar, to have lost a great leader and a friend to COVID-19. I hope that his legacy will continue to live on and the members will continue to strive for the profession. I would like to leave you all with a quote by Helen Keller: "What we once enjoyed and deeply loved, we can never lose. For all we love deeply becomes part of us." Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chavit, for your memorial speech. According to agenda number 3, may I warmly request the President of Indonesia, Mr. Teksu Kianto, to deliver the commemorative speech.
Hidayat, you unmute.
Oh, so sorry. Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. From Indonesia, congratulations to college, all member of MSMRT. Greeting from Indonesia, and hopefully this event will provide benefit for development of knowledge and competency of radiographers who are present on this webinar. And for Mr. Khin and family, our sincere condolences to his family, to the Myanmar society and radiology community. Mr. Khin, you will be greatly missed, but now your contribution and our profession will be remembered and live on our memory. Your inspiration and your legacy will live forever. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dexter, to your commemorative speech. Next attender, number 4. This commemorative speech is from President of Macau, Mr. Rane, but sadly he couldn't join this ceremony too, so he sent us a video message. Thank you so much, Mr. Rane, for your words of commemorations. Let's see the video.
Not just a true president. Good morning. I am Fernando, President of Macau Radiologic Technologist Association.
Gary, Vice President of Macau Radiologic Technologist Association.
Mr. Kim, you were not just a true president of the Myanmar society, but also a sincerely good friend of each of us. Your legacy will live among us. Goodbye, my friend.
Goodbye, Mr. Kim. Goodbye is not forever. Goodbye is not the end. It simply means we will miss you until we meet again.
As everyone knows, that the Myanmar society is an important member of us. I hope we can encourage and give more support to the Myanmar society.
On behalf of Macau Radiological Technologist Association, we congratulate Myanmar society.
Okay. Next attendant number 5. I would like to warmly invite Mr. Trevor Lord, President of Vietnam, to deliver the memorial speech for our President.
Thank you, Yin San. Hello, good morning, everybody. With me, I have a lot of memory with President Khin Maung. He always is a good brother. He is always a good teacher for me. I have a long time, many times talk with him. He teaches for me a lot of things. I learned a lot from him. I think Myanmar society continue to develop in his Khin Maung job. Goodbye, Khin Maung. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Traveler, to your memorial speech. And next presenter is President of Philippines, Ms. Pichi Luna. May I warmly request to deliver the commemorative speech of Mr. Khin.
To all the MSMRT officers, members, and to the family of President Khin Mountain, I thank you for the opportunity to be part of the celebration of the great contributions of a great leader of all my brothers and sisters in radiography, radiologic imaging, and therapy in Myanmar. I first met President Khin when I attended the SSR conference in 2011 and made sure to meet him again in Malaysia in 2012. It was the meeting of presidents that was held in that conference when the birth of the Southeast Asia Radiographers Conference happened. I remember President Khin as one very active president that time. And during the AACRT held in Chiang Mai, Thailand, the Philippines, Myanmar, and Vietnam were talking about the forming of Philippine, Myanmar, Vietnam Radiographers Conference. The first was held in Philippines, and the part awarded President Khin Mountain as our honorary member. I was happy that he was able to visit my beautiful country, Philippines, to attend the third Southeast Asia Radiographers Conference hosted by PART, held in Manila in 2015. In 2017, MSMRT hosted the SEERS and the third Philippine-Myanmar Vietnam Conference. That was my first time going to Yangon, Myanmar, and then I saw how artists valued and respect Khin Mountain a lot. And it was then when I realized that this man of his age traveling a distance, that to me is so admirable. He seems not to know how to get tired, and he's really a man with so much energy and passion for leadership. During the peak of the pandemic last year and the historical change that happened in Myanmar, the three countries continued to meet to form the Educational Exchange Memorandum of Understanding. And I remember President Khin Mountain is always present and active, even in online meetings, talking about the goals and future projects of our associations amidst the situation in Myanmar. The Philippine Association of Radiologic Technologists, with my president Rolando Banaras, and all of us officers are so grateful to you, President Khin Mountain, for your great passion to make things happen for our societies, and above all, for your friendship. On a personal note, like all of you, I am blessed to have experienced the kindness generosity and mentorship of the very intelligent President Khin. I call him President Khin, and whenever I see him in many international conferences and gatherings, I would make a courtesy gesture to touch his hand with my forehead, make selfie photos with him, and find him to sit beside him during gala nights and tours. The regular exchange of greetings every day, virtual cakes and flowers during my birthday, best of all, is the exchange of ideas and thoughts and receiving his wisdom. Those I will personally miss a lot. To the great leader of MSMRT, a very dear friend to me and mentor, I miss you, and I will continue to be inspired by your passion and vision in uplifting the radiologic technology education and practice forever. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your speech, Mr. Pichi. Next programs, next agenda number 7. May I invite Sophia Lee, President of Cambodia, to commemorative speech of our Mr. Khin Mountain.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of ACRT in Cambodia, we are so sad to hear that we lost Mr. Khin who are the good leader and the good president ever in our heart. We will remember him, and the last time I met him in the Myanmar, I had the opportunity to go Myanmar and see everyone and got another chance and advice from him how to be the leader in the ACRT, and he trains me a lot and give the advice. I have a lot of memory with him, and we are really sad and really regret to lose such as the good president. And we will remember Mr. Khin in our heart, and thank you for. And I would like to say and raise my respect to him, and we will remember him forever. And if we have the time, we will go to. We have the plan. We go to the Myanmar and respect him and express our regard to him also. So the last I would like to say thank you and take care for the Myanmar and take care everyone. Please stay safe from the COVID-19 outbreaks and be healthy and stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your speech, Ms. Supiali and His Agenda number 8. I would like to warmly invite to Mr. Nelson Wan, President Solvaka, to deliver the commemorative speech of MSMRT President. Mr. Nelson was not here. Next program, next agenda. Another one is from President of Taiwan, Mr. Chen Yu-chen Chu. However, he has sent a video message to us for he could not be here with us today. Thank you so much, Ms. Chen Yu-chen, for your glorious speech. Let's take a look at the video.
Dear President, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for inviting me to this listening conference. I would like to express my thanks to MSMRT for their effort in making this online courses during the COVID-19 pandemic, and especially for President Kim for his remarkable contribution in academic for MSMRT. It is with great sadness that I learned of the passing of President Kim. Myself and the press are with his family and the members of MSMRT. Mr. King was a great president, a great man, and a friend to many of the ISRT members worldwide. In this lifetime, Mr. King dedicated to academic development for MSMRT for many years, and his contribution to MSMRT and ISRT members will be remembered and live on in our memory. For those who have lost a loved one during the pandemic, it may be hard to breathe. I believe we will get through it because we fight together. Finally, I hope you are well, staying safe and healthy. Thank you. Dear President Kim,
according to agenda number 10, Ms. Dennis Charles, President of Singapore, may I warmly invite to deliver to commemorate the speech of our President.
You invite the Dennis Chong, Singapore?
Yeah. Ms. Dennis Charles is here early morning this morning.
Hello, good morning, everyone. From the MSMRT. On behalf of the Singapore Society of Radiographers, we express our condolences for the loss of Mr. Khin. He was a very kind man and very strong leader. That was very caring and put a lot of effort and dedication to advancing the profession. So we would really miss him, but we will continue this fight against COVID-19, and we will stand strong together. So please, everybody, take care and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Dennis Charles, for your speech. Another agenda, Mr. Sawat Masarit, Malaysia President, may I like to warmly invite to give us a commemorative speech of our President.
Kumar, India. You invite the Kumar, India?
No, Malaysia presidents of Malaysia.
I didn't see Malaysia.
Okay, thank you. So we will over to for the next person.
Kumar, India already.
Sorry. Mr. Kumar, I would like to warmly invite to give us a commemorative speech of our President. Please.
Hello. Am I audible? Very good morning, Myanmar. Good morning, dear friends, distinguished guests of radiographic professional, leaders of different Asian countries, and ISRT members. Warm greetings and happy World Radiography Day celebrations. Indeed, it's my pleasure and honor to be here, joining with you all on the occasion of commemorative of MSMRT President and MSMRT Conference 2021 along with the 10th Asia CPD program. I'm very happy and thankful to the organizing team, especially Mr. Fernando Kok and Mr. Taiwan Lok, for extending the invitation for us, ISRT, to take part and opportunity to share few memories about the great visionary, professional leader, mentor, and a loving Professor Khin Maung. With due respect, I like to register that the cordial relationship with Professor Khin and organization team of ISRT India, especially with our General Secretary, Mr. Suresh Malyat. For the past 1 decade, we cannot forget his guidance and helping attitude, professional association activities, and helping us through all the words in our journey towards the international arena. He is so lovable person, inspiring leader, caring and other adorable personalities will attract each and everyone near to him like a magnet attract the iron. His everlasting smile, smiling face, no one forgot in their lifetime. Personally, I know him and I was a fortunate one to interact with him during the 5th SIAC conference held at Bali, Indonesia, conducted by our ISRT team member and president of Perihimpunan Radiographer Indonesia, Mr. Sugianto, during 18 to 20 October 2018. I feel delighted after interacting with Professor King Maung. Such an humble, caring, professionally highly knowledgeable and a visionary leader of Myanmar society. He looks so simple and easy to approach, and his expressions will be a great one. His vast knowledge on the subjects and professional related ethical issues, establishing his viewpoints clear and authentically. Wow, no one can forget such a lovely person once interact with him. I cherish the moments I spent with him all the 3 days of the stay there, including the visit of Cultural Heritage Village near Bali. Since this is my first visit there, I am new to the culture of that area. He explained each and everything to me and taking care about the entire teams. I came to know that Professor King Maung began his career as a radiographer at Central Women's Hospital, Yangon, and rose to as Chief Radiographer, Department of Radiology, Asia Royal Hospital at Myanmar. He has successfully completed his radiography course in the first batch course conducted by GH Simcoe. He is a voracious reader, continued to study and successfully attained BSc Physics degree along with the certificates from England, New Zealand, Indonesia, and Burma. He is very instrumental in bringing glory to the radiographers and Myanmar to international level, and his art continuous work towards professionalism. On 23rd of August 2021, I received a shocking message from Myanmar that Professor King Maung is admitted in the hospital due to COVID. And I and members from ISRT India joined with prayers along with the thousands of radiographers in Asia for his speedy recovery. But as old saying, every short of journey must be an end. And later, unbelievable message of his demise we received. It's very shocking to us. Radiographers community has lost an veteran and a visionary leader of our time. No one can fill his space, but we cherish his memories and follow his guidelines in our day-to-day activities in profession and our personal life. International radiographic community has lost a great professional. He will be missed, but we know his contribution to our profession and will be remembered, and he will be live in our memories always. Some are so special, can never be forgotten, and thinking of his vision, mission, and his smile. He will be remembered always in our every professional activities. His teachings will be remembered. Before I completing, I would like to quote, leadership is not a position or title. It is an action and example. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is a progress. Working together is success. Leadership always about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that impact lost in your absence. We are really understanding this with on the demise of our Professor King Maung. Let us unite and feel the presence of Professor King Maung in every walk of our life. We are happy that we are also lived in this earth during his tenure of earth. Thank you all. Happy World Radiography Day and week to all. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Sabakumar. President of India. Thank you so much.
Hello, Mui. I think we have already done with the memorial speech of our Asian country, so we can process for the next agenda.
Okay, Ma. Thank you so much, Ms. Yin Tan, General Secretary of MSMRT, for taking this session to invite all the presidents for their memorial speech. And thank you all so much to all the presidents for their According to next agenda, ladies and gentlemen, now it's the time we all are waiting for. We're going to start the academic section of the conference. Very interesting and informative presentations by two great speakers are waiting for you. Firstly, we are pleased to have Ms. Dan Chewik, a Regional Director for Asia and Australasia, International Society of Radiographers and Radiological Technologists, ISRRT, to give us a presentation on impact of COVID-19 pandemic on radiation therapy.
Thank you. Maybe can you allow me to share screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Ms. Yimo. Can you please make the Ms. Chewik for the co-host? She have to share the screen for the presentation.
Okay, I can share now. Can y'all see the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Now we can see your screen.
Okay, a very good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Good morning, everyone. Before I start my presentation, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Myanmar Society for inviting me to present at your conference today. It's really great to see so many friends here today. And today I'm going to share on the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on radiation therapy. COVID-19 is a novel coronavirus that was first reported in December 2019 and was subsequently recognized by the WHO as an international pandemic. As of yesterday, there were almost 250 million confirmed cases of COVID-19, causing more than 5 million deaths worldwide as reported by WHO. Most of the infected people will develop a mild respiratory illness, but based on an early census from the United States Center for Disease Control's 20 to 30% of persons will require hospital admission, and the fertility rate ranges from 3 to 17%, depending on the age group and whether the person has any pre-medical conditions. Those with cancer or receiving treatment for cancer are at enhanced risk of serious morbidity. Since early last year, the outbreak of COVID-19 has impacted our ordinary everyday life, where restrictive measures such as no dining out, wearing of masks, closure of schools and non-essential services, and working from home have been adopted by national government around the world to try to contain the virus spread. As the virus is highly contagious, many public healthcare institutions were forced to face a dramatic overload of patients in need of hospitalization and intensive care. Thus, the hospital services need to reorganize resources to concentrate on COVID-19 patients. The hospitals in Singapore have also reduced their clinical loads and elective treatments to try to stop the spread of the virus and also to allow for better redistribution of resources to support the frontline staff. Cancer patients who are often immunocompromised are more fragile when they're infected with COVID-19 and will have an increased risk of developing critical symptoms that may lead to death. Many radiotherapy centers throughout the world are confronted with the COVID-19 pandemic and questions such as what to do if patients under treatment become infected, or what to do when staff are infected and staffing levels in departments become critical. Shall we close the department? Or should all new patients still start their treatment, or should it be delayed? However, delaying radiotherapy treatment, as we all know, can be detrimental to the patients. Thus, an effective and continuous radiotherapy services should be maintained, especially for patients who have fast-growing diseases or have already started their radiotherapy treatments. But also keeping in mind WHO statement that our aim and obligation is to stop, contain, control, delay, and reduce the impact of this virus at every opportunity. Recommendations and guidelines were developed by global resources such as the American Society for Radiation Oncology, the ESTRO, European Society of Radiotherapy Oncology, ISTRO, the International Society of Radiographers and Radiological Technologists, ISRT, and the Royal College of Radiologists on the patients and staff care and strategies to guide oncology staff in the management of cancer patients. Thus, different measures have been implemented in cancer centers in order to reduce the impact of this epidemic in oncologic patients. Some of the measures include maintaining safe distancing practices, practice hand hygiene and use of personal protective gear or equipment such as your mask and your headgear, and having a more intensive surveillance system. As we all know, a typical course of radiotherapy usually can take several weeks to complete and generally requires daily attendance and disruption of treatment and can affect the expected outcome. Clinical radiotherapy practice was indirectly impacted globally due to the pandemic, as the therapeutic management of oncology patients require a careful risk-benefit assessment on a case-by-case basis, balancing the possibility of COVID-19 transmission versus expected treatment outcome on patient treatment. Almost all departments experienced a decline in cases in the beginning, but were still operational during the pandemic. However, a recent study in UK by Spencer's reported a substantial increase in bladder, esophageal, and rectal cancer radiotherapy during the pandemic, potentially due to the reduce in surgical capacity. Most cancer centers have adopted specific measures and reorganized their healthcare systems in order to ensure the continuity of cancer care during the outbreak. Some of the changes implemented include rescheduling of non-essential cases and routine follow-up cases. They also considered evidence-based shorter fractionation schedule and deferring radiotherapy when possible. So one such example that has been used is for the treatment of breast cancer. The routine breast cancer treatment is usually 50 gray in maybe 25 sessions, or maybe 40 gray in 15 sessions. So with this new schedule or shortening of fractionation and hypofraction, the breast treatment has been reduced to 26 gray and only 5 sessions. So the RAD principle has been used to help to plan individual patient treatment. So the RAD stands for remote, avoid, and defer the treatment. So screening process should also be put in place to screen all the patients and accompanying patients to the hospital or to the clinic, such as previously when we first started, we had the temperature screening, and now we started the ART screening for all patients coming to the clinic. And of course, to limit only one accompanying adult per patient, or if possible, no accompanying patient at all. And then also to use technology, teleconsult whenever possible, so that patients, so as to minimize the patient traveling to the hospitals and waiting long hours in the clinic. So we also need to implement team segregation and minimize staff rotation to the different area to minimize the risk of infecting the whole department. And of course, implementing safe distancing measures and ensure infection measures are employed when managing the staff after each patient. So these are the guidelines developed by SRT and ISRO RTT committees for the radiation therapies. So please check out the guidelines if you're interested to find out more. So all these guidelines are available free online at the website. And this is the example of the SRT guideline on COVID-19 management for diagnostic, radiography, and radiation therapy procedure. So in the management of the common malignancies such as lung cancer, breast cancer, and head and neck cancer, appropriate hypofractionation regime should be considered during a pandemic in order to reduce the treatment duration and minimize the risk of infection. So as mentioned earlier, for the breast cancer, that we can actually reduce the number of sessions from 25 times or 15 times to 5 sessions with minimal impact on the treatment outcome. Okay, and below is a summary of the different guidelines from ASTRO and ISTRO to guide the selection of cases to treat, okay, or the management of cases to treat during this pandemic. So other than impacting the clinical services, delivery of COVID-19 has also impacted the education and training of radiation therapy students in Singapore. As it has been almost 2 years since the first case in Singapore was confirmed on 23rd of January 2020, early cases were primarily imported until local transmission began to develop in February. And due to the excuse me, increase in local infection cases, the Ministry of Health in Singapore raised the DOSCON level to orange. The DOSCON level is actually a color-coded framework that the government used to show the current disease situation. And on the 4th of April last year, Singapore implemented the circuit breaker, that's actually a lockdown for a month, but was extended to another month till June to help to further control the spread of the disease. Since the start of the DOSCON, okay, so this is an example of the DOSCON level, the different DOSCON level. Okay, since the start of the DOSCON orange level, all the healthcare students' training was stopped. And fortunately, a month later, after assessing the situation and realizing that the pandemic will be a prolonged situation, the ministry started to engage the universities and hospitals to discuss on the safe resumption of clinical training for healthcare students, especially for the graduating and the penultimate year students. Therapy students were also able, fortunately for the healthcare students, therapy students were able to resume our clinical placement in May with the implementation of all safety measures, as you can see from the chart here. To ensure safety of the students and compliance of the students to the safety measures that are already in place at the hospitals, information packages were prepared to brief and to prepare the students on the strict compliance of all the safety measures that is implemented in the hospitals. And any violations of the measures that's being in place in the hospitals or the guidelines that's set by the schools will warrant immediate failure of students and they will be barred from clinical placement. Currently, the vaccination rate in Singapore is almost 85%. and daily infection rate is about 2,005 to 3,005 cases daily. The surge in cases were due to the opening of our borders, and currently 98% of the infected COVID-19 patients had only mild symptoms, and 0.3% were in ICU, and 0.2% of the infected died. So the policy in Singapore has now changed from zero COVID policy to living with COVID-19 pandemic. Hence, changes such as home quarantine, teleconsultation with medical doctors have been implemented to ensure that our healthcare system is not overstretched and we are able to support all the patients that's in need of medical care. These are my references. And with that, I'd like to end my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Tanchuik, for your informative and wonderful presentation. Proceeding with the program, may I warmly invite my respected Arjun, Dr. Napapon Ponaban, Head of the Department of Radiological Technology, Faculty of Medical Technology, Mahidol University, as well as the Vice President of Asia and Australasia Region, ISRRT. Today, he's going to give us a knowledge-sharing presentation on professional development of the medical radiation technologist.
All right, thank you very much. And it's my honor to be here to give a lecture in memory of Mr. Khin Maung. When the MSMRT asked me to think about a topic, I have thought about what topic that I should give a talk to honor Mr. Khin Maung. And in fact, he is very passionate about education and training and professional standard for the medical radiation technologists, not only in his country, Myanmar, but also all around the world, as he is the representative for the World Radiography Trust Fund. So the topic that I will talk today will be about professional development for the medical radiation technologist. When you talk about radiography, a lot of time in our profession, we are called differently. Radiography is the terminology that is quite standard, as this is the British English and it is used by the United Nations. Our profession is actually officially called radiography, but a lot of time in different countries, they use different type of English, like American English, we are called Radiologic Technologist or Radiological Technologists. This slide is courtesy from Cynthia Qualling, my very good friend, and she was our director of education previously. And from this, there are a total of 17 different terms in English for what we do and who we are. This is the research from Jill Yoder, published in Journal of Medical Radiation Science. To this end, it is unfortunate that the publisher, the author was from New Zealand. She said that to this end, it is unfortunate that in New Zealand, the term technologist is still used along with the message is sent. So this is a big thing that alert to our radiography community worldwide. And ISRT is currently working on the standard definition of the profession. This is from the Society College of Radiographers from UK. Terminology, when we talk about profession, the profession needs a progress, and advanced practice is the way. So for Society College of Radiographers, for terminology, the scope of practice refers to the service that health profession is both allowed to undertake and competent to perform. This is a scope of practice. And for the advanced clinical practice, is delivered by experienced registered healthcare practitioner. In this case, is us, radiographer. It is a level of practice characterized by high level of autonomy and complex decision making. These two things are key. When you want to become advanced clinical practice, what you need is a certain degree of autonomy. You can authorize the exam, you can authorize the practice, and also the complex decision making for what you are doing. And this is underpinned by master's level. This is a standard by UK and also in Australia. This is underpinned by master level award to equivalent that encompass 4 domains of clinical practice, management, leadership, education, and research. So we have challenges we are facing, and it's obvious that practice from one place to another are different. And not only we are talking about different terminology that we are called, different education, radiography education and training among member countries. Registration and licensing systems still not in place in number of countries, but luckily in Asia and in this region, most of us has the licensing system already in place. And also a big gap in terms of economic advancement among member countries. It doesn't mean that you are less resource country, you cannot progress your profession. There are always be the way. And Mr. Khin Maung has proved to us that you don't need to be a rich country to have the standard. It is evident. This is proof by him that Myanmar technologist standard can be progress. So for the educational model, there are different models like school center or student center. It depends on what you are looking at. The thing is, education models here in the world for radiographies and technologists, there are 2 models governed by licensing system in individual countries. The first model is what we call 3-in-1, 3 disciplines: medical imaging, radiation therapy, and nuclear medicine under one undergraduate program. This is predominant by East Asian countries like Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and also Thailand. And also in many countries also adopt individual discipline, like you can do either medical imaging or radiation therapy training. These are among Hong Kong, Singapore, and Australian model. This is not what I propose, but this is what a lot of people kind of propose for the model, but this is not the way that we ask people to follow. This is just a good idea because now radiography, imaging, and radiation therapies are merging. Even you do with radiation therapy, a lot of imaging modalities are there, like CT simulator, MR simulator, and things like that. So no more imaging knowledge is required by radiation therapy. So a lot of places they propose that the bachelor degree can be general, and master degree then you can do the subspecialty in the area of interest. But as I said, it depends on the local practice of your country, but this can be a good way to proceed. So what about advanced practitioner? Advanced practitioner means it's after your first specialist or first specialty, like general radiography or radiation therapy. This can be modality based. This can be master in modality or master or PhD in other related field of research with additional clinical attachment. This is the Australian model. This is from the Australian Society of Medical Imaging and Radiation Therapy. They are characteristic for advanced practitioner. Basically, if you want to be a licensed medical radiation technologist over there that they are calling now, they used to be called radiographer, at least you need to have a degree program to be certified, and then advanced practitioner will come later or after. So basically what you're looking for is the clinical leadership in terms of scholarship and teaching, clinical expertise, and evidence-based judgment. This is the Australian standard. So there are 2 ways to become advanced practice. It can be either master's by coursework pathway or master by research and doctorate pathway. In the latter pathway, you need additional clinical training to achieve this. So while we want to go toward advanced practice, there are a couple of publications in our #1 journal in our profession, which is radiography. Advanced practice, key points are, as radiographers adopt new advanced role, boundaries between profession begin to blur and reposition. And also a range of overlapping drivers is necessary to ensure widespread adoption of an expanded scope of practice. That's the advanced practice or the extended scope practice. Like in the US, we have a radiologist assistant where technologists can perform a lot of tasks that normally only can be done by a radiologist. And in many parts of the world, we have like reporting radiographer, we have sonographer, we have subspecialty training. That's the way to go for the advanced practice that we are looking at in terms of international practice for radiographers and technologists. And key evidence benefit that has been published also in radiography by S.E. Thaung is from UK. First, we look at patient benefit. We improve patients' pathway through this benefit of advanced practice. We can have cost reduction. Maybe this is not a way in many places where radiologists still hold their territory and radiographers cannot penetrate to that territory. But the thing is, in many countries, radiologists are quite open-minded and we can do a lot of things to help benefit the patient. And also job satisfaction, professional development creates job satisfaction, of course. And also we can share the workload and optimize the load. I can see throughout the Asian Australasia region where radiographers and technologists adopt this advanced practice role, especially in image interpretation. So message that we got: radiography education, training, and the scope of practice vary from one place to another. And degree training for radiography is a paramount. And I know that most of us in this region, we have degree training already to upgrade our profession status with the International Standard Classification of Occupation, which is the ILO. We are submitting the documents so that the ILO will likely to upgrade our profession to a proper category during the next process. And in well-established places, and we have many now, advanced practice will gear a way to promote the importance and significance of profession in the healthcare service we provide. This is in memory. This talk to honor Mr. Khin Maung, a man of passionate to his profession, his beloved profession of medical radiation technology. He has tried every possible ways to help strengthening and progress the education and training of medical radiation technology, not only in Myanmar, but all around the world. He is a good example of the technologist, a teacher, and a great man. I am so honored to get to know him, Mr. Khin Maung, and I'm sure he will always be loved and missed. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Dr. Napapon Ponaban, for your interesting and remarkable presentation. Let me check, is there any question? Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to take a break. So we will have a 20 minutes break and our academic section will start again after 20 minutes. Thank you.
Foresta Network Limited ဟာအထူးသဖြင့် medical equipment တွေကို engineering ဆောင်ရွက်နေအတူနိုင်ငံတော်တက်ချီနေတဲ့ကုမ္ပဏီဖြစ်ပါတယ်။ဆေးရုံများအတွက်လိုအပ်တဲ့ classic candle PC များ medical gas solution diagnostic scanner အတွက် X-ray system ကို conventional to digital system များ international standard နဲ့ကိုက်ညီတဲ့ nutrients and supplements တွေကိုဖြန့်ချိရောင်းချရရှိပါတယ်။new customer အတွက်အဆက်အသွယ်စီးပွားရေးထုတ်လုပ်မှုကိုအထူးတမိုးထားတာဟာ Foresta Network ကိုလည်းဆောင်ရွက်ပေးဖြစ်ပါတယ်။အခုဆောင်ရွက်နိုင်ဖို့အတွက် Foresta Network ကိုလည်းဟာလုပ်ဖို့ကလည်းများအတွင်း customer တွေရဲ့လိုအပ်ချက်နဲ့စိတ်ကြည်နေမှုရရှိစေရန်ဖို့ပြီးပြီးအတူတကွလေ့လာခြင်းအတူတကွစမ်းသပ်တည်တွင်ခြင်းအတူတကွအားထုတ်ဆောင်ရွက်ခြင်းနဲ့အတူတကွအကျိုးဖြစ်ထွန်းခြင်းစတဲ့ညီမချက်တွေနဲ့လုပ်ပြီးရရှိနေပါတယ်။
May I cordially invite Dr. Khin Nai, Head of Marketing Department, representative of 14 Star Network Company, to give us a brief explanation about the company and their products.
Thank you, Mui. At first, I would like to say thank you for all the ASEAN presidents and panelists and the local speakers and our management team and my supportive team. For our company, we are proud to be 100% Myanmar company serving the Myanmar health sector, partnering with the global network of suppliers. Our management has extensive knowledge of medical equipment and consists of qualified engineers who are passionate for machineries and healthcare. It has brought them together as a team. Our staff members and visitors are contented and impressed with humility and passions of 14 Star Network management team. I would like to introduce my management team. At first, I would like to introduce our managing director, Mr. Angjo. Yes, you can see him in the photo as Mr. Angjo named. And then I would like to introduce our board of directors and Deputy Director, Mr. Chen Yingjo. Yes, you can see him as the Mr. Chen Yingjo on the screen. And I would like to introduce our members of Board of Director and General Manager, Mrs. Nie Mon. You can see her as Mrs. Nie Mon on the screen. Yeah. Our company is mainly, main office is mainly located at the Tingkanchong Township, and we have another office at Mandalay. So I would like to introduce about our imaging project. Our company is distributed hospital equipment and devices, including starting from the hospital bed to the oxygen generator and oxygen supply. But the other sector is our imaging system. In our imaging system, we distributed the product brand from Germany. After this session, I will introduce our product PRS 500F series. Before that, I would like to introduce a bit. Product PRS 500F made in Germany and combines model design with the compact size, application flexibility, and service friendliness. The various system components allow to individually customize the PRS 500F to your needs for analog and digital applications. So we will show the video of PRS 500F from the product brand made in Germany.
New design, an intuitive operating concept, and individual configuration according to your requirements. With the PRS 500 series, the perfect X-ray solution for you. In the touch version, the selection of X-ray tasks, the control of the connected generator, as well as the relevant image processing functions, are very easy to operate directly on the system. All functions, such as tube rotation, column movement, and column rotation, as well as the telescopic feature, can be operated via the pressure-sensitive keyboard in all system variants. While standing, images are easily taken, as the X-ray column and the wall stand bucket can be moved down to ground level. The patient stretch handle, which can be adapted to the right or left, is used for optimum execution of lateral images on the wall stand. Even for overweight patients, the floating tabletop guarantees easy operation and reduces the staff's workload. The use of both fixed and moving grids enables you to use the X-ray system with analog film, scanner solutions, or DR detectors. A simple removal or exchange of the grid allow a comfortable and efficient adaptation to the exposure parameters. Maximum flexibility is provided by the 360-degree rotation feature of the X-ray column and the telescopic arm that can be pulled out directly on the operating unit.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get down to the academic section again. Now it's time for our local speakers to present their paper presentations. First off, may I warmly invite Mrs. Esther Thaung, Nuclear Medicine Technologist, Radiological Technologist from Department of Nuclear Medicine, Penlong Hospital, Yangon, Myanmar. She will be presenting as a determination of radiation dose to patients undergoing 18th floor F-FDG whole body PET CT scan study. Hello, I'm sorry, Mrs. Esther, you're muted. Please unmute yourself, please.
Sorry. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Esther. I am nuclear medicine technologist from Penlong Hospital. Today, I would like to present about the title of Determination of Radiation Dose to Patients Undergoing Fluorine-18 F-FDG Whole Body PET CT Study. My presentation will cover all of the outlines. Let me start with background and rationale of our study. Positron emission tomography integrated with computer tomography PET CT has emerged as a powerful imaging tool for oncological diagnosis and management, as well as for other clinical indications, such as the investigations of fever of unknown origin. The most widely used positron imaging radiopharmaceutical and clinical imaging for PET is the fluorine-18 deoxyglucose. In PET CT, the radiation dose to the patient is the combination of the radiation dose from radiopharmaceutical and the radiation dose from CT. The PET CT examination, especially combination with diagnosis CT, involved higher patient exposure than stand-alone CT or stand-alone PET examination. Therefore, patient referred for PET CT study must be justified in each case to avoid repeated exposure or overexposure of patients. Besides justification, optimization is the second general principle in radiation protection. The effective dose enable patient radiation dose from different medical procedures to be evaluated and compared. Therefore, to estimate the radiation exposure of patients undergoing PET CT imaging, the effective doses from both PET and CT will be calculated. It is well known that cancer risk is induced from radiation. Several studies evaluated cancer risks associated with medical imaging modalities, including coronary CT angiography, mammography, and scintigraphy, had been reported. Hence, in this study, lifetime attributable risk area of cancer incident from fluorine-18 F-FDG whole body PET CT examination will be estimated for Myanmar population. This study was intended for two main objectives. The first one is to determine radiation dose to patient undergoing fluorine-18 F-FDG whole body PET CT scan, and the second one is to evaluate the lifetime attributable risk area of cancer incident from fluorine-18 whole body PET CT examination for Myanmar populations. In our study, the patient was scanned using a Siemens Biograph and CD20 XL PET CT scanner. Data analysis were done by Siemens single-via workstation. Patient population in our study included 120 patients and one F-FDG whole body PET CT examination at Penlong Hospital. At our center, there are two main protocols depending on the patient pathological conditions. In some patients underwent a whole body PET CT examination integrated with non-enhanced CT, and some patients underwent and integrated with a contrast enhanced CT. This table shows the CT scanning parameter from our study. The effective dose from fluorine-18 FDG was calculated according to Medical Internal Radiation Dose Marked Committee of the Society on Nuclear Medicine as the following step. In step 1, time integrated activity for each source organ from FDG was calculated by this equation. In step 2, absorbed dose to each target organ from different source organ was calculated. Finally, effective dose from fluorine-18 FDG was calculated by this equation. In this equation, we use tissue weighting factor defined by ICRP report number 103. In the aspect of the CT, site-specific dose estimate SSDE was evaluated. SSDE is a new and accurate dose estimating parameter for the individual patient from CT imaging, which was introduced by American Association of Physicists in Medicine, AAPM report number 204. For evaluation of the SSDE, firstly, we measure AP and lateral diameter at the midpoint of the torso, or to evaluate the effective diameter by the following equation. SSDE for each individual was calculated by multiplying CTTI volume and site-dependent conversion factor from AAPM report number 204. After evaluating the SSDE, the absorbed dose to each organ was calculated, and finally effective dose from CT was evaluated by the following equation. For estimation, the lifetime attributable risk area of radiation into cancer incidence from fluorine-18 FDG whole body PET CT study, the principles of the biological effect of ionizing radiation BEIR report number 7 was applied. Let's move to the result section of our study. In the aspect of the CT, this table shows absorbed dose to 13 target organ from FDG. From this table, we can note that urinary bladder receives highest absorbed dose from FDG because FDG is mainly excreted by urinary system. And then brain receives second highest absorbed dose from FDG because glucose is the main and metabolic substrate of the brain. This table shows the effective dose from fluorine-18 FDG in our study. The mean injected activity of FDG was around 6 millicurie and the mean effective dose from FDG is between 2.6 millisieverts and 6.7 millisieverts. Next, I would like to explain dosimetric data from CT from whole body PET CT study. This table shows 13 target organ from whole body CT. This table summarizes the mean effective dose from whole body PET CT. In our study, the effective diameter varies 21.2 centimeter to 34.0 centimeter. The main CTTI volume was about 17.1 milligray and the mean SSDE from whole body CT was about 23.5 milligray. This table summarizes effective dose from whole body CT. The mean effective dose from any CT whole body PET CT was about 6.4 millisieverts and the mean effective dose from CECT was about 50.9 millisieverts. From this data, we can notice that the radiation dose from CECT is over double than any CT or whole body PET CT. Next, I would like to summarize dosimetry and radiation risks from fluorine-18 FDG whole body PET-CT study. This table shows total affected dose. The mean total affected dose from whole body PET-CT examination integrated with non-enhanced CT was about 10.7 millisieverts, and those integrated with CECT was about 20.2 millisieverts. By analyzing our data, we can see that CT is the major contributor to the total affected dose patient underwent fluorine-18 FDG whole body PET-CT study. This table shows lifetime attributable to the radiation-related cancer risks in female and male patients underwent fluorine-18 FDG whole body PET-CT study. From this graph, we can note that the radiation risk is increased, the patient age is decreased. So, the radiation-related cancer risks increase in younger patient and female patient. Discussion. The affected dose from fluorine-18 FDG whole body PET-CT study in different centers and population. From this data, we can notice that we et al. Study received lowest radiation dose from FDG in Japanese population. This lowest dose was due to the use of the screening CT protocol that utilized either lower two current and potential. Our study received second lowest radiation dose from our whole body PET-CT examination integrated with any CT examination. Conclusion. In our study, CT is the major contributor to the total affected dose in patient underwent 18 fluorine FDG whole body PET-CT study. Hence, optimal CT acquisition parameters and weight-based injected antibody approach should be applied to reduce the patient radiation dose from PET-CT study. Risk-benefit ratio of whole body PET-CT must be carefully evaluated, especially in younger patient population who may survive for many years after the treatment of their malignancy. The specific dosimetry information presented in our study provide a valuable tools for optimization of fluorine-18 FDG whole body PET-CT protocols. I would like to kindly recommend medical imaging technologists to evaluate the patient radiation dose from different radiological procedures to establish the institutional and national diagnostic reference labels (DRL) from different radiological examination. The limitation of our study was that the simplified approach used to estimate affected dose from fluorine-18 FDG using the same conversion coefficient. Therefore, the estimated doses refer to a general reference individual. For a more realistic analysis of the actual PET doses received by each patient, additional information about the individual biokinetics and biophysiological properties are required. In the future, we will study the radiation dose from CT in whole body PET-CT study by approach of SSTE based on water equivalent diameter and the biokinetic data of fluorine-18 FDG in Myanmar population. These are all my references. I would like to thank to participants and audience in Facebook live screening and Zoom, as well as organizing committee 9 MSMRT and Conference 2021 and 10 Asian CPD. Thanks for your kind attention.
Hello. Thank you so much, Miss Mai A. Esther, for your wonderful and informative presentation. Oh, shit. I'm so sorry, my connection is interrupted. Thank you so much, Miss Mai A. Esther Thaung, for your wonderful and informative presentation. The next speaker is Mr. Thuren U, Senior Imaging Technologist and also a trained sonographer from Imaging Department, PARI General Hospital, Yangon. May I warmly invite Ko Thuren U to give us a presentation on the effectiveness of diagnostic imaging with MRI and DR for evaluation of knee-related abnormalities.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank you for joining this webinar today. I am Thuren from PARI General Hospital. Today, I am here to talk to you about the effectiveness of diagnostic imaging with MRI and DR for evaluation of knee-related abnormalities. It was reviewed by Dr. Jozomi. I found that this paper was published in ISRT News and Views Journal on August 2019. But now I want to share this paper in presentation format. The objective of this paper is to highlight the effectiveness of diagnostic imaging for knee joint, not only for sport imaging, but also for knee pain and other related abnormalities. As materials and methods, we use Siemens magnetometry 0.35 Tesla MRI scanner and Siemens DR system. We collected 394 MRI cases and 258 DR cases, including adult and pediatric patients, within the period of 2011 to 2018. The resulting images were read by both Myanmar radiologists from PARI Hospital and Indian radiologists from Teleradiology Service. These are the MRI protocol and X-ray projection that we used in this study. The main clinical history of MRI and DR cases were knee pain, knee injury, osteoarthritis, bonish, and lead poisoning for pediatrics in DR. In this pie chart, we can highlight the different categories of requested cases for knee X-ray with DR. The first leading one was injury cases as 44%. The second one was foot osteoarthritis as 40%. Foot bonish and lead poisoning were shown as 8% respectively. In the next slide, we can see the details, data, and information. In here, you can see the details, data, and information. Now, you can see the remarkable finding from knee X-ray. Out of 21 requesting cases, 15 cases were assessed with the knee bonish detection and others are within normal limit. Out of 20 requesting cases, only 7 cases were detected with lead poisoning. Out of 114 requesting cases, only 10 cases were reported with different kinds of pressure, such as ablation pressure, stress pressure, medial tibial plateau pressure. Other remarkable findings are septic arthritis, rickets, sprain, and soft tissue swelling with joint effusion. Out of 103 requesting cases, 46 cases were marked with different types of osteoarthritis. 35 cases were shown early osteoarthritis changes, and 11 cases was shown severe osteoarthritis changes, respectively. These are the requesting cases for knee MRI. The main concern for knee MRI were knee pain, knee injury, and miscellaneous conditions. We collected 188 patients for knee pain, 152 patients for knee injury, 52 patients for miscellaneous conditions. Among these cases, we got remarkable finding from knee MRI. The greatest figure was 65% for the category of tear, such as cruciate ligament tear, meniscal and collateral ligament tear, and tendon tear. We found out as 5% of osteochondral defect and osteochondritis dissecans, 6 sprain and strain was shown as 6% respectively, but miscellaneous information was shown as 8%. These are our results. Among 258 cases, 5.8% of bonish delay, 2.7% of lead poisoning, 0.3% of septic arthritis and rickets were detected in pediatrics. Moreover, 17.8% of different degree of osteoarthritis was detected in adults, especially with high population of female patients. On the other hand, out of 394 MRI cases, 65% of ligament and meniscal tear, 5% of osteochondral defect and osteochondritis dissecans, 6% of different kinds of 6% of ligament injury, sprain and strain, 5% of osteoarthritis, 4% of buccal degeneration at meniscus, and 9% of other remarkable pathologies were reported respectively. These are the limitations of our study. It was based on only private hospital on Dua, Myanmar regions. At the time, we can only use 0.35 Tesla MRI scanner, but now we are upgrading to 1.5 Tesla PLA-MR, and we can only highlight on remarkable findings because of abundant pathological findings in MRI. As discussion, our citizens' interest on medical checkup for osteoarthritis is still low. Most of them came to hospital only when they feel pain or some abnormalities in knee region. And also, sport imaging is still not popular in our country. And we hope to see the development of this sector when our country's saturation is stable. As a conclusion, by observing the abundant findings in this retrospective study, we can highlight the effectiveness of diagnostic imaging with MRI and DR for evaluation of knee pain and other related abnormalities. These are my references. Thank you for your attention. If you have any question, please contact my email address. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dureu, for your interesting presentation. Proceeding with the program, please welcome our next speaker, Ms. Tanda Ao, Imaging Technologist from Imaging Department, PARI General Hospital, Yangon, to give us a presentation on neuroimaging in children, focus on pediatric neurological disorder and status epilepticus related subdural hematoma.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Nice to meet you all. Today, I would like to represent about neuroimaging in children, focus on pediatric neurological disorders and status epilepticus related subdural hematoma. My name is Thaung. I'm imaging technologist from PARI General Hospital. I divided my topics into two parts. In part 1, nervous system anatomy, list of pediatric neurological disorders, causes of neurological disorders and case report are included. In part 2, definition of status epilepticus, note of subdural hematoma in status epilepticus and case report are included. In the nervous system anatomy, there are cerebrum, cerebellum, spinal cord, brainstem, which is composed of pons and medulla, pineal gland, ventricles, choroid plexus, hypothalamus, and optic nerve. List of pediatric neurological disorders are attention deficit or hyperactivity disorder (ADHD), autism, brain injury and concussions, cerebral palsy (CP), epilepsy and seizure, encephalitis, headache and migraines, learning and developmental disorders. Causes of neurological disorders. Many neurological disorders are congenital at birth, but some of the disorders are acquired, which signifies that they develop after birth. Those with an unknown cause are termed idiopathic. Acquired causes which develop after birth are immune disorders, postnatal infections, traumatic brain injury, spinal cord injury, neoplasm, and toxins. In part 1, I mainly want to describe about postnatal infections. In postnatal infections, there are encephalitis and meningitis. Encephalitis and inflammation or infections of the brain tissue. Encephalitis can occur on its own or it can happen simultaneously with meningitis. Meningitis is a condition. So sorry. Encephalitis and inflammation or infections of the brain tissue. Encephalitis can occur on its own or it can happen simultaneously with meningitis. Meningitis is a condition that involves inflammation or infections of the meninges, the protected layer of membranes that surround the brain. Meningoencephalitis. Meningoencephalitis is a very serious neurological condition resembling both meningitis and encephalitis, inflammations of the meninges and inflammations of the brain tissue, respectively. Symptoms are fevers, headache, speech problems, barbell rashes, which is indicative of viral meningoencephalitis, disorientation, and unconsciousness. Causes: meningoencephalitis can be caused by various types of organisms, including viruses, bacteria, and protozoa, or it can occur as a secondary development caused by other types of inflammation, such as HIV. Diagnoses are blood test, lumbar puncture, CSF culture, and electroencephalogram EEG. Radiological examination are computerized tomography, CT scan, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI scan, and ultrasonography. I collect this case report concerning with meningoencephalitis from my hospital. Clinical details of this patient are 5-year-old male patient with a body weight of 13 kg, with heart rate 112 beats per minute, GCS 12/15. Histories are fever 7 days, insomnia 4 days, and a relevant talk 3 days. In non-contrast ACL images of this patient, we can be seen bilateral symmetrical A-defined non-enhancing hypodense area in the medial temporal lobes, in the central ovaries of the parietal lobe. We can also see bilateral symmetrical A-defined non-enhancing hypodense area in the inferior frontal lobes too. In the left side, there is mild basilar enhancement. In the right side, there is subside effacement with indistinct gray-white matter differentiation. This is the fully diagnostic report that I described in the previous slides. There is bilateral symmetrical A-defined non-enhancing hypodense area seen at the inferior frontal lobe, medial temporal lobe, and central ovaries of parietal lobe. Mild basilar enhancement is also detected. Subside effacement with indistinct gray-white matter differentiation is noted in keeping with cerebral edema. There is no hydrocephalus or midline shift, therefore suggestive of meningoencephalitis. Prevention. The commonly recommended childhood vaccines will prevent several types of meningoencephalitis. These include the measles, mumps, and rubella MMR vaccine, chickenpox vaccine, pneumococcal vaccine, and HIV vaccine. Meningococcal vaccine is recommended for adolescents. Part 1 is now finished, and the next slide will be the start of the part 2. Definition of status epilepticus. A seizure that lasts longer than 5 minutes or having more than one seizure within a 5 minutes period without returning to a normal level of consciousness between episodes is called status epilepticus. This is a medical emergency that may lead to permanent brain damage or death. Note of subdural hematoma in status epilepticus. Subdural hematoma is a risk factor in the development of status epilepticus. In the overall subdural hematoma-related mortality, status epilepticus increase the risk of in-hospital death in patients with a primary diagnosis of subdural hematoma. In part 2, I mainly want to describe about subdural hematoma. Diagnoses are computer tomography, CT scan, and magnetic resonance imaging MRI scan. I also collect this case report concerning with subdural hematoma from my hospital. Clinical details of these patients are 1-month-old patient with 1-month male patient with a body weight of 5.8 kg, heart rate 102 beats per minute, and history of seizure, focal phase, and ongoing bleeding. In the imaging session, we can be seen bilateral subacute to chronic subdural hematoma allow bilateral frontal parietal convexity measuring about 12 mm on the right side and 11 mm on the left side. There is also mass effect in form of mild effacement of subside and gerine on the right frontal parietal lobe. There is also midline shift of 5 mm to left side. This is the fully diagnostic report that I described in the previous slides. Bilateral subacute to chronic subdural hematoma allow bilateral frontal parietal convexity measuring 12 mm on the right side and 11 mm on the left side. The findings are of concern for bilateral subacute to chronic subdural hematoma. There is mass effect on the right frontal parietal lobes in the form of mild effacement of Sarsai and Zerai. There is midline shade of 5 mm to left side. Subdural hematoma complications. Some subdural hematoma can bring on serious complications, including coma or even death. Possible complications include brain herniation. Pressure in your brain can move tissue away from where it's supposed to be. This can lead to death. More bleeding events. If you are older, you are at a high risk of another hemorrhage as you recover from the first one, especially if you have a head injury. Seizures. You may have seizure even if you treated your hematoma. These are the following are the references for my presentation. If you have any question about my presentation, you can contact me from my Gmail. Finally, I'm so glad to participate as a component of this conference. I would like to say special thank you to my sister, Mamya Nilacho, and also my PARI Innovation team. Thank you everyone for listening to me and have a nice day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Matana'a, for your wonderful presentation. Proceeding with the program, may I kindly invite Ms. Nila Min, Imaging Technologist from SSC Sri Gongdai Hospital, Yangon. She will be presenting us an MRI approach to brain angiogram. Hello, Ms. Nilamit. If you are ready, please start your presentation. Nilamit, please unmute yourself. We couldn't hear you. Yes. Thank you. Sorry, please wait. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the delay. My name is Nilamin, and I am a medical imaging technologist from SSC Sri Gongdai Hospital. Today, I would like to talk about MRI approach to brain angiogram. Here is my outline. My topic will include what is MRI angiogram and how does it work, and blood supply of brain,
Techniques used in MR brain angiogram, time of flight, meditation method, case report, benefits, risks, and limitation of MRE, and conclusion. Let's go to what is MR angiogram and how does it work. MR angiogram, MRE is an MRI study of blood vessel. It uses powerful magnetic field, radio wave, and a computer to evaluate blood vessel and help to identify abnormalities. It does not use ionizing radiation and may require an injection of contrast medium. And blood supply of brain. Brain receives blood from two sources, internal carotid arteries and vertebral arteries.
Excuse me, Manilami.
Yes.
Your slideshow is not moving.
Oh. Sorry. Just a quick moment. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Please wait for a while.
Okay, Ma.
I'm so sorry for all the audience for the technical inconvenience. Please, hope you don't mind. Yes, it's now working. Please go on your presentation. Thank you.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah. Now let's start again. This is my outline, and my topic will include MR angiogram and how does it work, a blood supply of the brain, technique used in MR brain angiogram, time of flight, materials and method, case report, benefit, risk, and limitation of MRI, and conclusion. What is MR angiogram and how does it work? MR angiogram, MRI is an MRI study of blood vessel. It uses a powerful magnetic field, radio waves, and a computer to evaluate blood vessel and help to identify abnormalities. This exam does not use ionizing radiation and may require an injection of contrast material. Blood supply of brain. Brain receives blood from two sources, internal carotid arteries and vertebral arteries. Internal carotid artery, right and left and right internal carotid artery branch to Thaung, middle cerebral artery, and right and left anterior cerebral artery. And left and right vertebral artery combine to form basilar artery. Socket of Willis. When we talk about blood supply of brain, socket of Willis is a mass. It is an arterial polygon found as the internal carotid and vertebral artery and the stromal around the optic chiasma. Vessels comprising the sockets of Willis are in anterior circulation, left and right, internal carotid artery, horizontal A1 segments of left and right anterior cerebral artery, and single anterior communicating arteries. And in posterior circulation, left and right, posterior communicating artery, posterior cerebral artery, and basilar artery. Now let's go to technique used in MR brain angiogram. MR angiogram can be basically classified into two techniques, dead blood technique and white blood technique. In dead blood technique, fast-beam echo, impression recovery, sensitivity weighted imaging are included. In white blood technique contains non-contrast imaging and contrast-enhanced imaging. Non-contrast imaging has time of flight, phase contrast, steady-state precision, has been echo, and arterial has been labeling. Time of flight and phase contrast are the most popular and widely used imaging sequence for MR angiogram. Names of the imaging sequence can be varied depending on the vendor. Now I want to focus on time of flight. It is a non-contrast triplet method for neurovascular imaging. It's based on the principle of flow-related enhancement. In time of flight, repeated RPAC saturate the spin magnetization of stationary structures in the imaging field, resulting in background signal suppression. As moving blood at the same degree of spin saturation, relative hyperintense signal is observed. 3D time of flight is most commonly used for intracranial vessels due to the tortuous nature of the cerebral arteries and tendency for flow within the imaging plane and its high spatial resolution. Materials and method. In our hospital, MRI scanner is cement magnetism, a sensor 1.5 Tesla with 16 channel head point, and parameter used in TOF. TR 28 millisecond, TE 7.15 millisecond, and fluid angle 25. Here is the imaging sequence for cerebral angiogram used in our department. Now let's go to case report. The following case were taken based on time of flight sequence. Case 1, it is a 57 years female. She complained of right hemiplegia, foramen, and dysphagia. She has diabetes mellitus and hypertension. Report. To the occlusion of left internal carotid artery, left middle, left posterior cerebral and its branches. Several focused stenosis at supraclinoid portion of right ICA, focused stenosis at origin of A1 segment of right ECE and M1 segment of right MCE. Developmental hypoplasia of right distal vertebral artery. In this image, we can see the total occlusion of left ICA, left middle cerebral artery, and left posterior cerebral artery and its branches. And in this one, we can see severe focused stenosis at supraclinoid portion of the right internal carotid artery. In these slides, we can see focused stenosis at origin of E1 segment of right ECE and M1 segment of right MCE. And here, we can see the developmental hypoplasia of right distal vertebral artery. Case 2. It is a 63 years male complaint of salivary difficulty 2 days ago and has left facial palsy. Report. Small right distal vertebral artery and occlusion prior to basilar origin, slight intermittent narrowing along the posterior cerebral artery on both sides. Here, we can see small right distal vertebral artery and occlusion before the basilar origin. And here, we can see slight intermittent narrowing along both posterior cerebral artery. Case 3 is 59-year male complaint of blood vision of right eye, heaviness and numbness on left side, and headache and hypertension. Report. Severe narrowing at cavernous segment of right internal carotid artery, severe stenosis of A1 segment of right anterior cerebral artery, moderate degree of focal narrowing at proximal B1 segment of posterior cerebral artery. In this slide, we can see severe narrowing at cavernous segment of right internal carotid artery, and here severe stenosis at the A1 segment of right anterior cerebral artery. This one, we can see focal narrowing at E1 segment of right posterior cerebral artery, P1 segment of right posterior cerebral artery. Case 4 is a 58 years female. She complained of recent memory loss for 2 to 3 minutes 4 times and has a history of similar attacks 3 months ago. Reports slight narrowing at origin of M2 segment of left middle cerebral artery and developmental hypoplasia of right distal vertebral artery. Here we can see slight narrowing at origin of M2 segment of left middle cerebral artery And here we can see developmental hypoplasia of right distal vertebral artery. His wife is a 32 years female. She has a history of left-sided weakness after sleep fall and also has right catenaceous palsy. She complains of vomiting and reduced consciousness. Total occlusion of supraclinic portion of right internal carotid artery, right beta cerebral and A1 segment of right cerebral, anterior cerebral artery is reported. In this image, we can see total occlusion of supraclinic portion of right internal carotid artery, right middle cerebral artery, and A1 segment of right anterior cerebral artery. Cases is a 71-year male, history of last week for 4 men, and has hypertension. Report moderate narrowing at distal B1 segment of posterior cerebral artery, severe occlusion at left posterior cerebral artery, severe diffuse narrowing at M1 and M2 segment of right middle cerebral artery. This image, we can see moderate narrowing at distal, moderate narrowing at B1. Sorry. Moderate narrowing at B1 segment of posterior cerebral artery and severe occlusion of posterior cerebral artery. And here we can see severe diffusion, severe diffuse narrowing at M1 and M2 segment of middle cerebral artery. Now let's go to benefit, risk, and limitation of MRI. Benefits. It is a non-invasive imaging technique that does not involve exposure to ionizing radiation. Useful high-quality images of many blood vessels can be obtained without using contrast material. That's why it is valuable for patients prone to allergic reaction or patients with reduced kidney and liver function. MRI contrast is less likely to cause an allergic reaction than iodinated contrast using X-ray and CT scanning. Risk. MRI exam pose almost no risk to every patient if we apply appropriate safety guidelines. If sedation is used, there is a risk of using too much. Therefore, monitoring patient by design is very important. Nephrogenic systemic fibrosis is a recognized complication to injection of contrast, gadolinium contrast. Limitation. MRI images of some arteries may not be as clear as catheter angiographic images. Patients who cannot lay still on their back may have poor quality MRI images. And broad shoulder patients may not fit into certain type of MRI machine. There are also weight limit on the scanner. Then implant and other metallic objects can make it difficult to obtain clear images. Currently, there is no convincing evidence that non-contrast MR and non-contrast images harm the effects of harm the fetus of a pregnant woman because MR and gadolinium contrast agents are generally avoided during pregnancy, either in very specific circumstances. And conclusion, non-contrast 3D thermoplasty is a non-invasive imaging method. And it can provide high-quality diagnostic image of intracranial vessel without using contrast, and it does not need special preparation and can be performed on outpatient basis. Here is my reference. For questions and answers, please feel free to contact me by this email address. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Manilami, for your interesting presentation.
Thank you, and sorry for the inconvenience.
No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, now we're almost at the end of our academic section. The last but not least, please welcome our speaker, Ms. Dandalai, in charge of Medical Imaging Department, Mandala Hospital, Mandalay. She'll be sharing about imaging Imagine patients' journey during COVID-19 at Mandela Hospital.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ms. Dandalai. I'm imaging in charge working at Mandela Hospital, Mandalay. First of all, I want to say thankful for giving me a chance to share this PowerPoint at this ISRT, Azure CPD, and MSMRT organization.
Tên là này.
Hậu chị.
Qua từ nó bà ngoại.
Xin chị. Hậu tôi mình share thải rồi chị.
This is okay now.
Yes, it's okay. Please go on with your presentation.
Tên là sao lại nhỉ?
Oh, I'm sorry. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ms. Dandalai. I am imaging in charge at Mandela Hospital, Mandalay. First of all, I want to say thankful to MSMRT organization for giving me a chance to share my presentation. So today, I'm going to talk about imaging patients' journey during COVID-19 at Mandela Hospital. During COVID-19 pandemic, we have to encounter so many issues at hospital. So we have to overcome these issues by creating new ideas. So first of all, in July 2021, RTT tests are available in COVID care center that include 30 bedded or launched at all wing of our hospital. In August 2021, we started to give home care service for COVID-19 patients that that include specialist teleconsultation and treatment and home investigation service. There are lab investigation, X-ray examination, and ultrasound examination. In September 2021, we extend the home care services with medical checkup packages to give health care to community. So in October 2021, our hospital started to launch new COVID center that include 38 bedded and ICU, mainly with ICU, HDU, with all oxygen plant. So this photo is our new hospital COVID center, and this photo show oxygen plant. In November 2021, our hospital started the program of COVID vaccination to all the staffs got vaccinated, and COVID-19 infection screening for all patients and attendants. As we need to prevent and disinfecting, so we have more expense from COVID-19 prevention and disinfection. As imaging play an important role in investigating COVID-19, so our hospital started to give imaging department services. There are X-ray and ultrasound examination through home service. And as a hospital service, we can get X-ray, CT, and ultrasound examination for COVID patients. But our hospital categorize the patient. If the patient with fever or respiratory symptoms with an etiology are referred to the hospital COVID center. If patient arrives to COVID center, we can give portable ultrasound and X-ray service for COVID-19 patients. So these are the current protocol for COVID-19 at our hospital. Firstly, we do screening for every patient and every patient attendance. Then we take precautions for ourselves to prevent the transmission of COVID-19. And after scanning the patient, we do disinfection procedures as a schedule. Firstly, screening. We take body temperature, name and address, any symptoms related with COVID-19, if he or she has the traveling history or contact history with fever patient. So we take document. Then we have to take precautions to prevent COVID-19. We have to use precaution before and after a patient taking each and every procedure during this pandemic. So we have knowledge sharing sessions about COVID-19 to all healthcare workers and how to do full personal protection equipment properly, and we have to start practice social distancing. As the virus spreads mainly between people who are in close contact with each other, so social distancing is really important. So we put protective screen between radiologists and ultrasound patients during ultrasound scanning. And we have to place fever room and isolation room for fever patients. And then we have to make drill and practice how to transport the patient with COVID-19 patient. This is our hospital disinfection procedures. Firstly, we have all the healthcare workers have to wash hands with using water and soap and sanitizer frequently. And we have to spray all the machines and contact areas, especially the doors, the patient CT couch, and digital screen after touching with each patient. Then we have to follow the update announcement of World Health Organization and Ministry of Health and Sport, Myanmar, how to do disinfections. This is how we are doing after scanning COVID-19 patient. We do 3 disinfection processes. Firstly, we exchange the air within the CT scanner room. Then we do disinfection solution, spray all the patient contact area. And finally, we place UV light to patient couch. This is imaging department screening process. Patient who came to imaging department, maybe from outpatient, inpatient, and from other hospital, have to cross screening area. At screening area, we categorize into 2 patients. If one is an suspected patient, he or she can refer to imaging department directly. If one is suspected, we have to transfer patient to COVID Mandala Imaging COVID Center. If patient arrive to COVID Center, our imaging department can give multiple X-ray and ultrasound services. If suspected patient have to perform CT procedure, imaging department take precautions and scan patient. These are the same regulations at Mandala Hospital. Because of COVID-19, we have to document every entry and exit. So we place only 1 entry and 1 exit, and we place temporary breathing and hand sanitizer at everywhere, so everyone can use hand washing efficiently. And we only allow patients with masks to enter the hospital because COVID-19 mainly spread by respiration. And we limit the number of patient attendants to avoid the crowded or to reduce the number of patients in the hospital. We started to predict social distancing at workplace and business approach provides. Example, we use teleradiology, teleconsultation, and treatment. So patient can contact with specialists, senior radiologists by online. And we define the disinfection procedure and schedule. And we make predictions for COVID-19, how to take precautions for COVID-19 patients during CT, portable ultrasound, and X-ray examination. These are the same social distancing place at Mandala Hospital. We have to stay away from each other at least 6 feet. And we place some physical barrier at counters, and our departmental meetings were held by online. And we have hospital canteen. So there are some changes and new arrangement there by changing takeaway only for non-employee and by placing social distancing for staffs. We start to place temporary breathing, regular breathing, and hand sanitizer at everywhere. So in conclusion, imaging patients' journey starts from screening that include lab screening, history taking, and we make preparation with minimum number of operator. Then with imaging department take precautions by wearing personal protective equipment during scanning the patient. After scanning the patient, we do disinfection procedures step by step. And then we give result reporting by teleradiology. So patient doesn't need to come to hospital again. So I would like to say special thanks to imaging department, colleagues, especially our hospital Mandala CEO, Dr. Ogajo, and quality executive, Dr. Shine, and Ms. Yinwei Wu for supporting me to create this presentation. I take reference from guideline of Ministry of Health and Sports, Myanmar. Thank you for your attention. Everyone else is welcome to ask questions. So my presentation ends here.
Thank you so much, Ms. Tanalai, for your interesting presentation. And thank you so much to all of our local speakers for your wonderful and interesting presentations. According to Agenda 9, now it's time for Q&A sections. So far, we have 2 questions sent to us. And the first question is, for speaker 1, Mrs. Esther, the audience asks, do you calculate the patient radiation dose from F-FDG by individual biokinetics data?
In our study, we use only the biokinetic data based on ICRP number reference man of 73.70 and from ICRP number report 106, not individual biokinetic data. In the future, we have planned to study patient-specific biokinetic data from FTG in Myanmar population. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your answer. I hope the someone who asked this question might get the answer he or she is expected. The next question is for speaker number 4, Ms. Nila Mien. The audience has asked, can MR angiography be applicable even to bleeding situations not related to ventricular incidents? Ms. Nilamien, could you please answer to the question?
Yes. If the patient condition is stable and the EGFR is and it's not okay for CT angiogram, yes, you can do. Because MR angiogram is the MR angiogram take more time than the CT angio. Yes, so if the patient stability is very important. Yes.
Thank you so much for your answer, Ms. Nilamien.
Yes, I already answered in the chat box. Yes.
Oh, thank you. So, to the audience, if you have any question, you can ask in the chat box or from the comment section, or you can directly ask to the speaker by their email address directly. So, let me check, is there any more question? So I guess there's no more question. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the sake of time, we will now dismiss the Q&A section up here. So if you have any further question, you can ask to the speaker directly through their emails. We're almost at the end of the closing ceremony, but before we close this ceremony, may I warmly invite Teacher Doyin Tan, General Secretary of MSMRT, to deliver the speech of appreciation.
Good
Dr. Every, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of MSMRT President, and thank you all attendees, ladies from international panelists, President, country, and supporting Manager Director, Uang officers, IT Company Limited, Director Channing Cho, and GM Mr. Hin Mom. Thank you so much. Please forgive me if you have any inconvenience. We will continue to our best. We will meet you again in the near future in good health. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Yin Lan, for your speech of appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to the end of our online conference. We believe all of the attendees have learned a lot from our conference today, and I hope you have a pleaseful and fruitful education day. On behalf of all the organizing committee members of MSMRT, here I would like to express our special thanks to all the invited foreign guest speakers, plus our local speakers for sharing their knowledge with us. And big thanks to CI Wang Dan for his opening speech. And massive thanks to all the presidents and representatives from other countries for delivering the memorial speech for our president, MSMRT President, Mr. Khin, and for attending this webinar. And also, thank you so much to all the members of panelists and 14 Star Network Company for your great help to our conference. The last but not least, a huge thank you goes out to all of the participants and the audience watching over Facebook live stream for joining in and making this event happen. Thank you so much to everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, I'd like to gladly announce that our conference commemorative of MSMRT President, 9th MSMRT Conference 2021 and 10th Asia CPD hosted by Myanmar is now successfully accomplished. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you so much for your. Thank you so much for your support. Us.
We hope to see you all again in the next conference.